Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be some Dollar Tree home decor projects. I don't know if you're going to classify them all as DIYs, but at least one of them is a DIY, and then two of them are maybe more like Dollar Tree home decor makeovers, where I'm taking some items that I found at the Dollar Tree and I'm just kind of sprucing them up, maybe making them a little bit nicer and making them fit my home decor a little bit better. So either way, it's Dollar Tree items and we're making some home decor. So let's get into the first project. All right, so for these first DIYs, these are gonna be pretty simple, hopefully. I picked up these balls, decorative balls, I guess, from Dollar Tree. They're like a ceramic of some kind. I was so excited to find these, and I just picked up 3 of them, and we're gonna start by painting 2 of them. We're gonna do one in the Waverly Moss and one in Celery. These are kind of my accent colors for my living room, and I have a lot of neutrals, and I thought this would be a fun and easy way to just mix in some color. I'm going to clean them with some rubbing alcohol first, and I'm gonna decide which 2 I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna try a technique with the other ones. So, all right, we're gonna go with these 2. Careful, they're slippery when wet. All right, so this next one, we're gonna go in with the antique wax. I'm not really sure how this is gonna go. I've got thoughts in my head. We'll see if the thoughts in my head, you know, work. All right, so it is another day. These are thoroughly dried. They didn't need to dry for days, but that's what my time allowed. I'm gonna put second coats on both of these, and then this one I actually think I'm gonna leave as is. To me, it kind of looks like wood, like it was a carved wood piece. The strokes in it look a little bit like grain. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Is it good, bad? I don't know. I kind of like it. So I think I'm gonna leave this one this way. And you can tell me what you think. I don't care. If you don't like it, that's all right. My feelings won't be hurt. All right, we're gonna throw on second coats on these. I think that's all we'll need, but we'll find out. So what I do with this one, because this one has a lot of divots that are a little deeper, I kind of go on a little bit thicker with the paint, and then I kind of brush over it to, you know, thin it out a little bit. But this one did take longer to dry because of that. All right, guys, so everything is dry, and I am going to give them all a good coat of Mod Podge just to help keep the paint from chipping. Mainly on these 2. I don't think it's gonna be a problem on this one, but I'm gonna do it because I've got it out. Figure might as well. Just a little disclaimer, although they came out great in the end, the Mod Podge did seem to take off a little bit of the paint, or at least the antique wax, not so much on the painted pieces, but it looked fine to me still in the end, and I'm gonna show it to you, but I just wanted to let you know that that did happen when I was doing this, and maybe I needed to give the antique wax like a base coat of paint first. I'm not really sure. In the end, this is how they came out, and I actually really like them, and I'm excited to sprinkle them into my decor on some shelves, and I don't know, but here they are. They came out really great in my opinion, and very easy little makeover of some DIY items, or of some Dollar Tree items. All right, so for this next one, we are just taking this mirror that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and we're gonna start by painting this. I'm gonna try taping off the mirror because it's a cheap mirror, and I don't know what it would be like to scrape the paint off of it afterwards, so I'm gonna do my best to try to paint it, or oh my goodness, tape it off, and then we're gonna go in with some white Waverly chalk paint. I know that's not super exciting, but I think I'm gonna also try to have the color that's on here. I'm gonna cover up the mirror so you're not looking at my nose. I like the look, the black and like almost like the metallic. So I'm gonna try to, I think we're gonna try to bring some of that out after we're done painting it, but we'll see. All right, so this DIY or Dollar Tree decor makeover, whatever you want to call it, is a pretty simple one, just like the first one, but I want to show you what I did and any, I don't know, techniques or whatever. But it's just going to make, you're just going to make sure that you paint it thoroughly. This one has a lot of little spaces. There are a couple different mirror designs that Dollar Tree has, so it might not be the same depending on which one you pick out. But there's lots of little spaces, so I had to be careful to get into all of them because when it's up on the wall, you're gonna see if I missed a spot. And I ended up only having to do one coat because of the overall look I'm going for. I didn't have to do a thick coat. This is still that first coat. But yeah, really not a whole lot to it. But once this thoroughly dried, we're gonna go over it with a sanding block from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna sand off some of the paint. It came off pretty easily, so start out light and then you can go heavier in some places, but you don't want to go too heavy right off the gate. So I'm kind of just doing like the points and then any other spaces. I just did heavy in some areas and lighter sanding in others. And this very simple little makeover made this item match my decor a whole lot more than it did right from Dollar Tree. So I'm just showing it to you on a stand here because I don't have it hung up yet. I think I'm going to put this in one of my guest rooms, but I love how this came out and very simple to make this one over. All right, now to do this, the next one, this is definitely more of a DIY than a makeover, and I picked up 6 of the 8x10 canvases from the Dollar Tree, and for this project I decided to use the Gorilla wood glue. You could use a different glue if you wanted to. Now I'm going to start by cutting off the canvas on each of these, and don't worry, I'm not going to show you me doing all 6 of these. This was a little bit time consuming. I don't know, not like bad. I don't know if I was doing it the best way possible or if it's just a time consuming thing, but I like doing crafts because they're kind of relaxing and calming to me, so that doesn't bother me. And I'm just taking a blade and I'm cutting on the outside of the staples, and we're just going to cut off the canvas. I did save all these canvases. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all in projects in the future, but I know they could be used, so I did save them. And then I am just ripping off what is left there around the staples. In this project, we're not going to be taking off the staples, but I suppose you could if you wanted to. It just seemed not worth the effort to me. So I grabbed my crafting tablecloth and folded it up several times so I don't destroy my table. And I'm using a hammer to just hammer in all of the staples. Most of them are on one side, and then there is a couple on the other side. And then I'm taking the sanding block and we're going to sand this down the best we can on all sides. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because, did I already say what we're making? We're making a window frame. You probably could have guessed that. And it doesn't need to be completely perfect. Now, I have seen window frames done by a lot of people. I've seen this decor item in many, many stores, so there is inspiration all around, and you could do it of various sizes, but I decided to do 6 of them. Now, note that they are not going to all be exactly the same size, so try to find ones in the store that are the same size, and then maneuver them around until you get what seems to be the best fit. Now, I'm taking Gorilla Glue and just obviously attaching each of them together. Now, I was going to use my little clamps from the Dollar Tree to hold these pieces together while they dried, but they weren't quite big enough for this. So just make sure when you are gluing them together that you at least make sure the sides that are all going to be connected are lined up. It's okay if the outside ones aren't. So I'm just taking painter's tape and wrapping that around while this dries. I think the Gorilla Glue takes about 20 to 30 minutes, so I did give this ample amount of time in between, and that's what I would recommend as well. So we're just going to glue and cover with painter's tape. If you are enjoying this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. I hope that you are enjoying these very simple projects. Like I said, they're not all DIY. Some of them are kind of just like DIY home decor makeover, but I just thought it'd be fun to show you how you can make things work in your home, whether it's a complete DIY or whether it's just taking something you see that's not quite the right colors or whatever. As you can see here, I decided to go over the seams where I was attaching the set of 3 with some popsicle sticks, so I'm gluing them down as well, and we're going to use painter's tape once again, and then I decided I might as well use those big popsicle sticks on all of the seams, so I did do that. I'm not sure if it was completely necessary, but I will say that my frame did seem pretty sturdy in the end, so it was not a bad idea. Alright, so everything is glued, holding together well, and we're going to paint it. I was debating on what to do. I think I'm going to try doing something with the antique wax, so that's what we're going to go with, and if I change my mind, I'll paint over it. For me, the beauty of DIYs is that you can do it however you want to match your decor, and if you start on something and you don't like it, you can change it. That was kind of what I went to this project thinking, but I ended up really liking how the antique wax looked, so just brushing it on and wiping it off with a paper towel, and once again just make sure that you get all of the sides, the edges. I did everything but the back, so the inside edge, outside edge, just make sure that you get it all really well, and I ended up really liking how this came out. If you are new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss out on my future videos. Just hit the subscribe button, and then when a bell pops up next to it, make sure to turn the notification bell on to all. Otherwise, you still may not see my videos even if you have subscribed, because YouTube's weird like that sometimes. Alright, now we are going to decorate this little frame with a wreath, and I have that wreath from Dollar Tree. It was a little bit, not quite a circle, but I was trying to make it closer to a circle by bending it. Plus, once we put this greenery on, that will help as well. And this greenery is also from the Dollar Tree. They've had a lot of really nice stuff this year. And then I'm going to use some burlap ribbon that is also from the Dollar Tree to hang it up. So I just kind of have it looped there to place it while I messed with the wreath, so that I kind of had an idea of what it would look like. You're going to see a few times where I pull this out of frame a little bit because I keep holding it up just to kind of get a look as to what it's going to look like when it's, standing up. And I used a little bit of floral wire to attach the greenery at a couple places just so that it wouldn't be flying off too much. But for the most part, I just trimmed the stems down short and stuck it in. I think it's called a grapevine wreath, if I'm correct. And it just kind of gets stuck in there, and I don't think anything is going to fall off. I've done that before with other wreaths. So you could use hot glue if you wanted, you could use more floral wire if you needed, but I'm not looking for it to be all super close. I wanted it kind of sticking off the edges, and this worked and gave me the look I was going for. Once again, sorry, I keep pulling it up off the frame, just needing to get a look at what it looked like. I ended up using 3 picks from the Dollar Tree all together, and that ended up being adequate. I used every bit of it, but it ended up being completely adequate. So once this is all done, I am just gluing the burlap wreath to the top of the frame with some hot glue. And I was really excited with how this piece came out. Once again, I just have it leaning up so you can look at it. I believe I'm going to put this in my guest bedroom over one of the beds, because I think it would look nice since I don't have a headboard. So that's my thought, but I love how this came out, and it really was easy to do. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these projects, these DIYs. I know I had a lot of fun with them, and I'm excited to use these items in my home decor. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.